If humans disappeared today, we'd know more about distant galaxies than what lurks in our own oceans. 97% of Earth's water remains completely unexplored, and what we've found so far defies imagination. Welcome to the most alien world on Earth. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why scientists claim we know more about the surface of Mars than our ocean depths. You're about to witness pressure that crushes steel, creatures that glow in absolute darkness, and underwater features that dwarf Mount Everest. The ocean isn't just deeper than you think, it's a different reality entirely. The average ocean depth is 12,100 feet, about 8 Empire State Buildings stacked on top of each other. But that's barely scratching the surface. If Earth were the size of a standard globe, the deepest ocean would be thinner than a credit card. Yet this razor-thin film contains 99% of Earth's livable space. Most humans experience only the top 0.1% of the ocean, the sunlit zone that extends just 660 feet down. Beyond that lies more unexplored territory than all land continents combined. Let's dive. At 100 feet, nitrogen narcosis begins affecting divers, the rapture of the deep, causing hallucinations similar to alcohol intoxication. Without specialized training and equipment, this depth is already deadly. At 330 feet, we reach the limit of recreational scuba diving. The pressure here is 10 times greater than at the surface. This is also the deepest a blue whale, the largest creature ever to exist, can dive. At 660 feet, we leave the sunlight zone. Below this, photosynthesis becomes impossible. We enter the twilight zone, where only 1% of surface light penetrates. The water temperature plummets to near freezing. Between 660 and 3,300 feet lies the twilight zone, home to some of the most bizarre lifeforms on Earth. 90% of deep-sea creatures produce their own light through bioluminescence, creating the largest light show on the planet that almost no human has witnessed firsthand. Here live the vampire squid, which doesn't suck blood but turns itself inside out when threatened. The giant squid, reaching lengths of 43 feet, hunts here. And the anglerfish, with its parasitic males that permanently fuse to females, becoming nothing more than sperm-producing appendages. The pressure here reaches 1,470 pounds per square inch, enough to crush a car into the size of a soda can. Human bones would compress to half their normal size before shattering. Descending to 3,300 feet, we enter the midnight zone, absolute darkness. The pressure exceeds 5,800 pounds per square inch. If a human were teleported here unprotected, they would die before their brain could register pain. Blood would boil, lungs would collapse instantly, the body would implode. Yet life thrives. The colossal squid, with the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, the size of dinner plates, hunts here using vision so sensitive it can detect the bioluminescence of prey from a quarter-mile away. We pass the maximum depth of nuclear submarines at 4,000 feet. At 6,500 feet, the Cuvier's beaked whale sets the mammal diving record, holding its breath for over 3 hours and 42 minutes. Capabilities that mystify scientists. At 13,000 feet, we reach the Abyssal Zone, covering 60% of Earth's surface, more area than all land combined. The pressure here is 580 times greater than at sea level. The only light comes from living organisms. The Japanese spider crab roams this darkness with a 12-foot leg span. The goblin shark, unchanged for 125 million years, extends its jaw like a xenomorph from Alien. Zombie worms drill into whale bones using acid. This zone contains underwater lakes and rivers with different salinity that animals cannot cross, shores within the ocean itself. Here stand mountains taller than Everest and trenches deeper than the Grand Canyon, a landscape more extreme than anything above water, all in perfect darkness. Below 20,000 feet begins the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, Greek god of the underworld. The pressure exceeds 1,100 times that at sea level, equivalent to 8 tons pressing on every square inch of your body. More people have walked on the moon than have visited this depth. The water here is ancient. Currents take 1,000 years to circulate. The creatures you see may be drinking water that last saw sunlight when human civilization was just beginning. Despite these conditions, life persists. Supergiant amphipods, essentially deep-sea insects the size of house cats, scavenge the seafloor. Ethereal snailfish with partially dissolved skeletons move like ghosts through the black water. In early 2025, scientists discovered extremophile microbes living in hydrothermal vents that can withstand temperatures exceeding 150 degrees Celsius, the highest temperature tolerance ever recorded for any living organism. These ancient life forms suggest completely new biochemical pathways that could redefine our understanding of life itself. We've reached the deepest known point on Earth, the Challenger, deep in the Mariana Trench. At 35,876 feet below sea level, you could place Mount Everest here and still have over 7,000 feet of water above its peak. The water pressure is 1,086 bars, equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets balanced on your body. The temperature hovers just above freezing. Yet even here, we find life. Translucent fish, luminous jellyfish, and extremophile bacteria that metabolize hydrogen and methane seeping from Earth's crust. Only 5 manned expeditions have ever reached this depth. Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh in 1960, James Cameron in 2012, Victor Vescovo in 2019, and the groundbreaking International Deep Ocean Initiative team in 2024. The latest expedition captured the first ever 16K footage of bioluminescent creatures communicating through complex light patterns never before documented, behaviors that suggest intelligence we never suspected existed at these depths. In 2024, scientists confirmed a new record for Earth's deepest living fish at 27,940 feet. A previously unknown species of snailfish with a gelatinous body structure that somehow withstands crushing pressure through unique cellular adaptations that could revolutionize materials science. As of 2025, we've only mapped 31% of the ocean floor in high resolution, still less than we've mapped of Mars and Venus combined. A landmark 2024 deep-sea expedition discovered over 300 new species in a single research trip. Current scientific estimates suggest there could be over 15 million undiscovered species in the deep, potentially including entire unknown branches on the Tree of Life. The Census of Marine Life concludes that we've identified less than 10% of ocean life. The deep sea remains Earth's final frontier, more mysterious than space in many ways, because it's right here on our own planet, yet largely inaccessible. The next time you stand at the ocean's edge, remember, you're looking at the surface of a world that contains 99% of Earth's livable space, a world where the average depth would drown Mount Kilimanjaro, a world where pressure can crush titanium and creatures generate their own light, a world more alien than Mars, more unexplored than any desert or mountain range, and potentially more important to our future than space itself. The ocean isn't just deeper than you think. It's an entirely different reality waiting to be discovered. If you want to dive deeper into Earth's last frontier, make sure to subscribe and join our ocean exploration family. The depths are calling, and we've only just begun to answer.